Yeah, it's always a pleasure having you back. It's been, I think, almost 2 months since we last
Yeah,
spoke.
yeah,
A lot has
yeah,
happened also in the market. Maybe we can touch upon that at the end of the show.
yeah,
And let's just dive into all the updates because I think you've been doing a lot.
yeah. Uh, Welcome everybody once again to this brief presentation and updates on Green Earth blockchain token GEBT. And our goal is to bring transparency into the food supply chain, natural products, natural healthcare, and natural resources, everything to do with nature, and that's what we are aiming for. The next slide. Yeah, before we get into the presentation and points and updates of today, I would just like to restate our standard disclaimer that Green Earth Blockchain Token GEBT is a utility token meant for the working of the Green Earth Blockchain project. The GEBT token does not represent any asset or security, and there are no guarantees of any type regarding the token price appreciation over any time frame. And forward-looking statements in this presentation are not guarantees or assurances of any type, and technology risk and market risk are involved in this project like with any other technology project.
Yes. So
Yeah.
let's get to
So
the
yeah.
meat.
So uh, yeah. So first of all, I'll just for those who are seeing or new to the project, I'll just quickly take a minute to establish the vision that we are working with. And the greener blockchain aims to bring value to undervalued natural products and natural resources, and also the vast amount of knowledge that is available along with these natural products and natural resources in some of the rural communities of the world, and which over time keeps getting eroded because it is not being used, or it is not, let's say, in demand, because it is not available, and the benefits of that knowledge are not being seen by wider audience in the new system. So the purpose is to bring the natural products, natural resources, and the natural knowledge into the front, and tell people that this is the value that is there in this, and it's there to take. So that's the first purpose, and the vision drives that vision drives our project work. And the second is that once we do that work, we are getting and building a community of people worldwide who value uh, nature, support nature, and also sustainable development in various forms, which also includes ecotourism and various other forms, renewable energy. These are all uh, subsets or associated paths of what we are talking about, and a global community which is uh, like-minded towards our vision is one of the goals that we are working with, and that is still in the early stages of formation. Once we have established the project fully, this global community could be millions of users. For every one GBT user, we may have one or more users who are not actively holding GBT but who very much share the vision. The third point I would like to make is that as we execute this vision, we believe that the Green Earth blockchain project will be one of the most trusted blockchain projects uh, for authenticity and transparency in the domain of natural products, foods, natural resources, natural healthcare, etc. And we believe that as we achieve that path, we may have 5 to 10 million users for the GEBT token, which will also place this project in the top 10 user basis in terms of all cryptos. So that's the vision that we're working with.
And for the people who are viewing, we always post these slides at the bottom of our video, so you can sort of scroll back and read up on them. We'll also
Yeah,
post it the Twitter video so that people can read on it. So let's go to the next one, the Ganga project.
yeah. So Ganga project. So Ganga project.com is the website. Now Ganga project is the strategic partner of Green Earth blockchain in India. India is our main primary market to start with, and that's where we see a lot of advantage of what we are doing. and the vision is being implemented in India as the primary place. So gangaproject.com is an e-commerce site which is the manifestation of the vision of Green Earth blockchain in India. And so currently the site is like an e-commerce platform, but it links back to the producers of natural products. It, and soon it will also link and bring on the platform natural healthcare providers and other such people who have various forms of, and also the work is on board to get the ecotourism, sustainable ecotourism participants in India from Himalayas as well as the deserts of Rajasthan onto the platform. So different kinds of activities and services and products related to a sustainable development and natural path are being brought onto this platform. And this is our e-commerce platform, so people can actually buy all kinds of products and services from here. And when they buy from here, they can be sure that each of the product or service on gangaproject.com has been thoroughly verified from the source onwards for its authenticity. And when somebody participates in Ganga project as a customer, they get tokens, GEBT tokens, and the entire chain gets GEBT tokens, as we will again see in this presentation. And here's an example of how it's working in real. So as of now, we have 100 natural products with full blockchain that are now live on gangaproject.com. So I have just posted an image of one specific product. It's called wild mixed flower forest honey. This is a very high quality honey and it is totally authentic. And in not only in India, in many parts of the world, honey is heavily adulterated in different forms. The most common adulteration is with sugar or jaggery, and sometimes they just mix honeys. So while it is considered to be a wild forest honey, it may not be a wild forest honey. It may be a boxed honey, which is actually a lower quality honey. So various forms of mixes or mixing and adulteration can happen. uh, it's difficult to establish all of that, but somebody who is looking for uh, real authentic honey that is produced in the forests, we are getting it directly from the tribal villagers. So the entire chain is established. And this is an example of that, where Green Earth blockchain completely takes off differently is the way we showcase each person in the chain and how much they are receiving right till the end point. And so, for example, in this particular example of wild forest honey that we have talked about, here uh, there's a validator to support the quality of the product, and he is getting 4%. The validator will always be in the same area where the product is coming from because they are physically involved in the ongoing quality controls and validations of the products. Then there's this FPO slash farm. This is actually in this case the producer of the honey or the people who are collecting the honey from the forest or whoever is actually involved in uh, producing that high quality natural product. And by the way, just that mixed flower honey stands for, like sometimes we have honey which is from one specific flower, and in mixed flower it is from multiple flowers, which is often the case in the forest honeys because the bees will go to different flowers within the forest, and that's considered a very high quality honey. So coming back to the breakup, so we have a farmer who will get 52%. In actual cases, when middlemen are involved, the farmers get way less, sometimes 20% or even less. So here, this is one of the highest percentages that a farmer would be getting when while selling a product on an e-commerce site. This is, I can safely say, it's one of the highest percentages a farmer would get, uh, or a farmer or a producer. Then we have 10% for a marketing unit, which is basically involved in uh, the the labeling as well as packaging. Then we have a project unit which is involved for administration purposes of that entire region. And then there is a beneficiary, 4%. Beneficiaries are basically from backward economic people with disabilities, or any other weakness that they have, that and they are not able to function fully, and but they are helping the project in whatever capacities they can by taking the project forward to more people. So as a vision, we have included them in always in our project. uh, and so some of them also include some of the transgender people who have very less economic opportunities in India, and they would also be in the beneficiary 4%. And then 20% is for Ganga project, that the platform operator. And from here, this is the project income, and that is getting used for various works that we do, and the entire site setup, the team members, and the growth.
Yeah, that's.
So
I mean, it's really generous also that you help the misfortunate and make it a standard issue with the project itself. And
yeah, so
like you
that's
said,
yeah,
it's fully
yeah,
transparent and real time. So
yeah,
yeah, it's one of the amazing benefits of blockchain, of course, putting it
yes.
to use like this.
And so everybody knows the breakup, and the tokens also. And when a customer buys this honey, then in the same percentages in which their income is, this is the income that will, suppose you buy this for, let's say, 10 euros, the exact percentages will get distributed among these people in those percentages. But at the same time, the GEBT token that is meant for this transaction also gets distributed in the same percentages, including to the customer. So that's where the entire chain gets rewarded for participating in this project.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It is amazing, basically.
And
How
and if you go back to the previous slide one more time, that's also an important point that I'll mention. The 20% that Ganga project, that income, that is the income of the platform. Okay, from there, Ganga project would pay about 5% to Green Earth for establishing this entire blockchain system. So the Green Earth project would be getting approximately 5% from that 20% that Ganga project is earning, and that would be the income of Green Earth project, blockchain project. And the Green Earth blockchain project within that aims to use 50% of whatever it gets for its systems and operations, and 50% of what it gets, which is about 2.5% of the actual sale value, will be used for buying back GEBT tokens from the market. And
to
that's how the
stabilize
token,
prices.
and that's how we plan to ongoing basis buy back tokens, GEBT tokens from the market, and give them a support in price.
Yeah. But the main focus is, of course, on the local farmer to sort of incentivize them to participate and to
Yeah.
make an earning and a living of really green, sustainable, and high quality foods.
Yes, and they also get a much better percentage of
Yeah.
the sale compared to the existing systems where there are unknown levels of middlemen, which they have
Yeah.
no idea. And in fact, many of the people in the farmer or producer side have never seen this kind of breakup. Forget the income streams within that, they have not even seen the breakup of what happens. So they just know that they sell the product at x price, and they do see that the market price of the same products is at some 4 or 5x later on retail stores. So but they don't know how they could do anything different. But with Ganga project, they know that if they supply, if they're preparing the products in an authentic way without any corruption or adulteration, because we will be verifying that. But if they are genuine, then they can get top value through Green Earth blockchain and Ganga project.
Yeah, they can see the breakup and how
Yeah.
it is divided. And
Yes.
otherwise, they would have no idea how they arrive at the price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
let's go to the next one. Uh, the next slide is basically a list of various projects, we call them campaigns within the system, that we want to undertake in 2024 2025. That is this year, which is today is almost half the year over, 6 months almost. So we have about 1.5 years of time. We have been working on the last 6 months, and so this is a we have listed about 11 projects or campaigns, and they are of different types, different segments. I can just run through them. So we have adopt a tree sapling campaign in central India, MP state. This is already in progress. So this is live. The second one is support a cow campaign in Braj. Braj is actually again in North India, but very key. It's a very key or important place in terms of the overall cow and the cultural significance of that for India. And therefore, we are working with Braj Foundation, which is the leading foundation of that area. And this campaign is not live yet, but the discussions to actually structure and make it live are in progress. Each campaign would each of these 11 campaigns, when they go live, some are already live, some will go live, they would have their own independent, or rather their own unique set of audience who would be interested to see how the campaign is structured and how the campaign runs. Just to give you an example, suppose we have two campaigns. One is to, let's say, protect the Alps, and the other campaign is to protect, let's say, the corals in, let's say, tropical sea. You would have two different kinds of audience wanting to support those two campaigns. It's exactly that here. These 11 campaigns are going to have different audiences that will support them, but that's good because we will be covering a very wide ground with them. The third is support Ganga riverbed potters in Bithur, which is in partnership with IIT Kanpur, one of the leading engineering institutes of India. Sandeep is from here, so that's how we have a long established connection with IIT Kanpur, and they have been very strongly following Green Earth and Ganga project, and we have multiple alumni from IIT Kanpur who are involved with our project in different ways. The fourth one is adopt Hango and Himalayan ecology. Hango is a village or a district in that upper Himalayan region, and those are very sensitive regions in terms of ecology, and we want to uh, do our bit to support that environment as well. And when we say environment, we also want to support the local villagers who are involved there, and whatever they are producing in an authentic way, we want to bring them to Ganga project platform. And the next one is a relatively new entrant, which is to support a backward community of, it's called Musahir, and uh, I have written Varanasi and Muzaffarnagar, but actually it's Mirzapur. So I'll just correct that here, but I'll update it in the latest presentation. So so basically, it's again in northern India, and these are very economically backward people, and what we want to try is use the Ganga project as a way to give them the platform to sell their products authentically to a larger audience. And because by selling on Ganga project or participating on that, they can get a better income payout compared to what they get today, and which can help them in their income. So that's the vision that we have. And it if we can basically if we through Green Earth and Ganga project, if we can help this community of economically backward people, then it will be a very brilliant case of success. So that's why we want to try that. And the next would be support khadi, which is a handmade cloth that Mahatma Gandhi also popularized, and its weaver communities again in Lucknow, UP. So which is many of these projects are coming from the northern state of Uttar Pradesh, which is having a very high population, but also we have a lot of pockets of people which are economically backward, and because our own team members are originating from there or have worked there, I have also studied there and grown up there. So we are able to go and connect with people on the ground there and do specific projects there. The next one is support yak. Yak is an animal in the Himalayas. Yak campaign in Upper Himalayas. This is somewhat similar to the cow campaign, but not as large and popular. But we want to do that. The next is to support Himalayan ecology in Uttarakhand. Again, the Uttarakhand is again in the Himalayan region where we want to create some of these ecotourism stays, or and also to help some of the local the local system there in the Himalayan region has its own flowers and flora and fauna. We want to use some of those things to create natural products which can be very useful for people. And that knowledge is currently there among those people who reside there, but they don't know how to create a product or to take it forward to a larger audience. And that is where a platform like Ganga Project can come in the picture and through Greenearth blockchain we can transparently show how that product can benefit different people in that chain. What we have observed is that if the end customers can see that there is transparency in the project, and that the benefits of their purchase actually go back to the rural population or the producers in a clear way, then they are also willing to come and support the project, and they want to become customers. So that is the other factor we want to use. We want to constantly showcase these blockchain breakups where the end customer can see how every person involved in the project supply chain till the producer in the, let's say, whether he's in the Himalayas or in the northern India or central India or wherever, they can benefit from the purchase as as the producer. That is the vision that we are executing through this, and with the comments and feedback we have got so far, they are happy with what we are doing, and so we will look forward to adding more customers from here onwards. The next one would be number 9, support a camel campaign in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is the desert state of India, and on the western northwest side. I've lived many years there, studied as well. So camels there also have there's an ecosystem involved there, which requires a lot of care, and we want to do a campaign for them, and then support silk and its weavers in again in the northern state of UP in Varanasi. This is not started yet, so we will be taking this up at a later point, and support herbal products created by transgender self-help groups. We we know we know what these products and groups are, but we haven't initiated anything with them as a specific project. But we will be doing that later this year. So as we approach, we are in towards end of June. As we approach end of December, we would have a starting point on all these campaigns, almost all of them. Maybe some more will also come as more people learn about Ganga project. That's what is happening on the ground. As people are learning about what Green Earth is and how Green Earth is implementing things on the ground through Ganga project, they are coming to talk with us and saying that this is what we are doing, and can you also bring us on the blockchain? We are working transparently, we are doing it with authenticity, can we also get showcased through your project? And in some cases we can, and in some cases we'll see how to help them. So that's how. So this list of campaigns will give you an idea of how we are approaching different kinds of projects uh, through Greener blockchain. Let's see the next one. Yeah, this
Yeah.
one. So adopt a sapling. This is the campaign that's the first of the ones we have started. It's already in progress, and uh, the planting time of the saplings is likely to be in the next 3 weeks. This monsoon period in India is considered the right time for planting the saplings where they don't perish. So we are by end of July we expect to do the planting of the saplings, and we will also plant about 2,000 more saplings than whatever the demand has or the purchases have come for, so that we can allocate them to new buyers later. So this
Yeah.
project is on its way, and it is also like a showcase project where we want to plant 100,000 saplings on a land that has been clearly identified for that, and it is belonging to the project, so that tomorrow nobody can just come and cut those trees, because that land also belongs to the project, and therefore we can be sure that these trees will survive and grow.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite projects because you basically can sort of own a tree and sort of take care of it. You can
Yes,
literally see what you buy, and it sort of represents the
yes,
GBT. I think it's very unique and very well thought out, and it sort of makes you really want to invest in creating
yeah,
more trees. So
yes, and each tree will have uh, its owner earmarked. So as a tree sponsor, as we call them, you would have the exact tag of the specific tree that you have sponsored, and it's there on the ground, and it's there along with other trees. And if for some reason that sapling perishes, we would be replacing that with a new sapling. So once you sponsor a tree, you are going to be a sponsor for lifetime, because we would always ensure that there's a tree sponsored with your name.
That's a really nice idea, and that of course also stimulates ecotourism, which is
Yeah,
also part of what you're trying to do. Yeah,
because this will be a full-fledged forest in 10 years,
yeah,
5 to 10 years. So there, if somebody wants to visit, we have a small lodge or a cabin nearby, uh, a full-fledged cabin and lodge. So people can stay there and also see the forest and live there for a couple of days or a weekend and see not only what they have planted, but what everybody has planted.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The next slide.
Oh, sorry.
See, this is an example of what I was talking about, the Hango village in Himachal Pradesh. This is the upper Himalayan region now, and so it's very sparsely populated, but the ecology here also is very fragile now compared to what it was in the past. And these villages, they don't grow much, but they grow apples, and so these are the things that we want to bring, and they don't use any kind of chemicals or pesticides, anything. It's just natural fruits. Uh, and these are the apples that we are bringing onto Ganga platform. And uh, in fact, I think whatever apples that they are going to send later this year, they already are booked. So we will have to probably get add some more villages nearby to get and meet the demand of newer customers. But
And I
that's
think one
yeah,
one of the other nice things about Green Earth, once it gets really big, is of course that if you want to buy these specific apples, you can actually buy these specific apples from this person, right?
it's yeah, exactly, because you know that who is
Yeah,
sending. So isn't like it's we are getting this from the village. So there are very limited suppliers. It's not like it's like a large city. So there are very few people within that village who are there, and we are sourcing from them. So you can actually know. You can't say which apple has come from which specific tree, but you know which are the people who have sent
yeah.
this apple to you as farmers.
So if you want to sponsor or help or support somebody specific, you can actually do that by buying from
Yes,
that specific person.
yes, you can. But when you buy from this village, you are actually directly helping all the people who are.
Yeah,
It's not many. It will be, let's say, a dozen people, farmers who are sending those apples to us.
yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, and that's why we believe that uh, if more people come as customers, then we would add the nearby villages also in the project.
Yeah, I think it will also motivate the producers of these products to be more active and involved because
Yes,
yeah,
yes, because when they are seeing that we are helping in the local ecology and
yeah,
also trying to give them a better price for whatever products they have, they are also motivated to work
yeah,
with us.
it will
Yeah.
increase productivity. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. So let's see the next slide. This is about the vision that we have, which is in progress for GEBT users in India. As I have mentioned earlier, we believe that India would be the largest base for GEBT users, and we clearly see 1 million GBT users coming from India uh, directly as a result of the Ganga project e-commerce site. And once we establish the vision and we build a network of 10,000 validators across India and about 5,000 associates in urban areas for marketing. So about with those 15,000 people in place, I have no doubt that GBT would have more than a million users, maybe much more, uh, because of the wide reach that we will be having in terms of both food products, natural healthcare services, and ecotourism services. So this is a very wide gamut that we will be covering, and so that's the vision that we have, and we would surpass this actually because uh, the youth in India are extremely technology savvy, and we believe that a project like this, which is uh, sincerely aiming to help uh, the remote parts of India, the rural parts of India, by bringing authentic products forward to the urban areas, this will be very welcome by a wide cross section of youth in India. So once the project takes off, our challenge will not be in the users, but our challenge will be in ensuring that all the people who come and place orders, they get the authentic products. For example, even now, I was just speaking with our team before this call. We have honey, authentic honey that we talked about. We have those varieties of honey, and if we do even basic marketing on Facebook, there's honey only for about 300-400 orders. After that it will get over. So if we do a very large marketing and many people come, that product itself is not there and it will be out of stock. So one of the things that we have to understand is whether it's those apples, honeys, or any other products, berries from Himalayas, they all come with very limited supply. And that's the other point we want to establish or explain to people, that the authentic products that you're talking about, they come in limited quantities. They are not unlimited factory produced products that we get in the market, that even if a million people buy, the honey is always there. In reality, it should not be there. And that's the point we want to make. And the growth of GEBT token user base, once we get on with the marketing, I see no stoppage in the users. In fact, the difficulty will be in constraints will be in the sourcing side of those natural products, because by definition we cannot let anything which is not authentic come into the chain, and therefore we will always have supply side constraints. And that's the other point that is to be understood by everybody, that as we grow, our our constraints will always come on the supply side of the products, not on the customer side. We will always, once we start growing, once we start marketing, we would have orders, but we will have unfulfilled orders. And that is how the people should understand that if they really want authentic products, they are not there always. And we believe that the tree campaign project that we have started, as it travels further, uh, we would reach 100,000 trees, which is our goal for the land that we have identified. And whenever we reach that, that campaign will give us the capital to do the next level of marketing for the project, as well as to add these 10,000 validators and 5,000 associates in India. So that team selection and the team growth also will start happening as we get the income from one campaign, and more campaigns also will produce some income. So as campaigns become successful, it adds new people in the team. We will have the funds to do some marketing and pay some more people for their training, onboarding, and it's a cycle, an organic cycle that will start playing out. And we believe that a GEBT listing is possible on one Indian exchange sometime between now 2024 and 2025. It's in our plan, very much in the plan, but we don't have the exact time frame of when we will do it. But whenever we do that, that will give a local fiat currency pricing for GBT, which is currently about 1.15 USDT. Uh, and they will have, and we will have to get some liquidity there as well. And I think that will be a first proof of whatever tokens people are earning. They will see that it has a value of, this is the approximate value for that. In rupee terms, it may be about rupees 100 or 110 approximately. So they will get to see that. And as I mentioned earlier, using the income that we get on Green Earth, we will use a part of the income to do a regular buyback of GEBT tokens from the market. And we believe that it will support the project price, because the way the project is constructed, the number of tokens issued will always be approximately in sync with whatever income is coming into Green Earth. So that's how the project is structured. So it's not like a lot more tokens will get released compared to what the project is earning as income. So we will always have the ability to keep buying tokens and support the price. That's the approximate view. And then if people like the project and somebody wants to buy tokens from the marketplace, then that will further stabilize and support the price. Next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a summary almost of where we are and how we see things. We believe that with now that the Green Earth blockchain system is established and the implementation of the blockchain in India using Ganga project is established, the integration is done. It's a system that is working, and live campaigns are getting executed, and we are adding users organically. we believe that the the project setup provides a good opportunity for growth, even when we grow organically, and it's a unique opportunity to become the Bitcoin of India because the adoption is still very low in terms of cryptocurrency across India, and the way we are planning to seed GEBT in a wide population of India, both urban and rural, that gives us a chance to really take GEBT as a very original or uh, path-breaking founding crypto for India, larger populations of India, not just the urban educated population which are dealing in crypto today.
Yeah, it's
So
a really nice idea to sort of get. It's basically most Indians' first experience with crypto, which will probably be a very positive first experience, which will lead them to also experience or look into the crypto system ecosystem as a whole, right? And probably also
yes,
lead them to Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies.
that's
Yep.
that's true. That's true. I think our aim is to show them what's possible. In fact, already we are seeing that many of the villagers who are coming as suppliers, whether it's for honey, apples, or any other products like natural products, they have never known anything in crypto. They have never known a wallet. All these are first time terms for them, but they're very curious and very open and also very supportive of the concept of crypto. And in fact, I would like to say this here that we have found more openness and uh, openness as well as enthusiasm to adopt GBT in the rural areas who are seeing this for the first time than among some of the urban people who are already well educated,
Yeah.
and they are actually still not favorable to crypto yet, or they are unsure how it all plays out despite being in the environment, being aware of various trends for many years. So that's the other part where people who are seeing this for the first time, despite not knowing about crypto, are finding it very interesting and very useful. And we still have to explain this for a longer duration to people who are well educated.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic.
Yes.
That's something that we notice in general, but sort of the urban
Yeah.
progressives are actually conservative when it comes to this technology, while sort of the people who are having a hard time, they see the potential, like
Yes.
developing countries, they immediately understand what Bitcoin is about and decentralization and cryptocurrencies.
Even
So
within developing countries, I mean, if you
yeah,
consider India, it's a developing country on the whole,
yeah,
but within that also there are levels of people who are, let's say, well educated, well established, alumni from various institutes that we deal with. There also there is a hesitation, not sure, but not sure about where what this whole theme is, whether it is real or not. And then
yeah.
there are other segments of people who are seeing that for the first time they're getting a better value for their products than what they were getting. And not only value, they're also getting a level of transparency that they've never seen before as
Yeah.
producers.
It's
And
it's a little bit like with Thomas Kuhn's structure of scientific revolutions. It's like a paradigm shift, and the people who are at the bottom, they understand that that we need a paradigm shift. Well, the people at the top think like everything is okay.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Well said. Yeah, I agree with that. So, so that's where, so we see that as a unique opportunity for GBT because as far as we're aware, like there's no project which is having a vision to literally go across the people of India and put a token in their hand like we are doing. So that that kind of approach of literally seeding millions of people with a few GBT each or fractional GBT depending on how much they participate in the project, it will create a level of awareness which will be quite large
yeah,
because
yeah,
and so therefore when we say about the vision of 1 million users, that's actually on the very very lower side once we take off with some next level work.
yeah. And
And
I want to say one more time, we had like many discussions, of course, many updates, but I think Green Earth blockchain token is basically one of the most utility focused cryptos out there. So I really hope that your dream and your vision will come true. And yeah, I think it has enormous potential, and you're already making it happen. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, Nick, thanks, Nick. Thanks for that positive feedback. And we do think that the vision is strong. It's basically a lot on how we implement it. And what we have realized is that we need to go organically here, and so that whatever gains and growth we are doing is tangible and is there to stay. So that's why uh, initially we were thinking in terms of, let's say, of trading volume, trying to show the token to more people in the token community, but we realize that it's not taking us, it will not take any far just to be like a typical crypto project. What we need is to ensure that the users are there and they are using the project and they are finding some value in the token in a real way. Because once we do that, then those tokens will have a those people will not just throw away their tokens. Even
Yeah.
now, none of the end users or farmers or supply chain participants, they have no, they want to know what if there's a price for them, but they have no plan to sell them anytime because they got them as a gift for participating in the chain. It was not like they paid for that. It is being given as a reward, and we are giving that reward from the project income. So in another way, we are taking a lower income and rewarding them. So they want to hold these tokens, especially because they are getting such a better transparency with our system. And already they're getting a better payout. So they're already happy. So as we reach out to more people, and there is some income for everyone. The validator has an income. The associate who will come, he would have, associate is equivalent of an affiliate. They would have some percentage income from the product sale. So everybody would have a small percentage income along with making the project move forward. So we think that there is a scope for everyone to participate. And so it's a lot on how we execute it. And that execution is in progress, and it will most probably accelerate as we go further in this year and into the next year as we get some funds from our current campaigns.
And
And
and and I also want to add, because your focus is ultimately to decentralize the whole project, right?
yes, that we covered in the previous call,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is basically that uh, the way and this ties strongly with my overall view of the crypto industry, that the strongest projects are those which are fully decentralized, which in today's world would be, let's say, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and any project which is having a person, including myself, talking about it and directing it is weaker than those decentralized projects. So our final aim is to have a decentralized project, and for that we are doing two things. One is on the ground level, Ganga project would have a, a body called the Ganga Trust of 25 trustees, and they would be deciding how the Ganga project would operate on a larger scale and also how its income will get spent. And we already have drafted the charter for that. 80% of Ganga project income would be given back to the community in different ways. So that's how we are planning. And regarding Green Earth, we would have a global user council, a user council, let's call it in simple words, a user council with a very large number of users who would be involved in the project governance. And that is something which would give strength to the project. And we'll cover that in the next slide. So, which is the benefits for GEBT token users and holders. So the first benefit is exactly that, that we want to have a user council established, and we'll work towards that. A large global user council, and they will participate in the project governance decisions regarding what direction to take for the project, and whatever income is coming, how much to use it for token buybacks, how much to use it for creating new projects, let's say education projects or knowledge sharing projects or any other projects. We will bring projects forward, and we will see how to and the users will participate in a wide range of topics, not just on the direction of the project. Also, if there's a better way to communicate what we are doing, all kinds of feedbacks can be taken from our user council, and this will be a large user council body. More than 100 users will be involved, if not more than 1,000 users. And the thing is that because we are using systems, it is not like a postal kind of archaic structure that we use today in physical world. We could technically have a very large user council, if even a million users could be there in the user council, because at the end of the day the system takes care of everybody's views and votes. So we will see how to structure it, but in my mind we want to have a very large user council so that it's very widely distributed in terms of its views, and yet when uh, the users vote for something in a majority way, we know for sure that this is indeed the view of our entire user base. So we want to get to a large user base in the user council. The next one is that benefit of being in the GBT as a user is that whenever we get liquidity on the exchanges, currently the liquidity is very low, but once we have liquidity on the exchanges, people can also sell some of their GBT tokens to convert into fiat and monetize it. And the third is that tokens can be redeemed for privileges like ecotourism stays in the Himalayas or Ganga coaching camps that we have connected some camps, but we will be connecting them in a more formal way on the Ganga riverbed. And so these kind of services have received very positive feedback from those who have participated in them. So we know that they are seen as valuable, and we can have people redeem their tokens for participating in these ecotourism stays and Ganga camps. So I think uh, these are the kind of benefits we see, and we have also the same 3 points. I have run them with the GBT token holders, actual ones, and they all find that these three are good benefits to have. So we have already, in a way, informally run these exact three benefits with the informal user council.
Yep, sounds good.
And so that's about it. So thanks very much for having me and Bina project on your show today, and really happy
Well,
to share these updates.
it's always a pleasure, Shankar. And like I said, I think it's a project with a lot of potential. I'm not getting paid to say this. I just really like the project. And I know you for a very long time. We go back a long time. And yeah, I just hope it spreads and it gets the adoption that you say and that you envision. And like we said in previous calls, as soon as it becomes a success in India, you also have ideas to spread all over the world, to Europe and America. So I'm just happy that it sort of strengthens local communities and it produces high quality food, or it sort of incentivizes people to make and be rewarded for growing high quality foods that are not using pesticides, and takes out the middleman who always takes the largest cuts. I think it's basically, if it becomes what you envision it will be amazing, and I think a force for good. Shankar, do you want to end with a slight overview on the market, because we live in very sort of turbulent economic times, and I know a lot of viewers are also kind of curious about how you might see the markets. Of course, this is
Yeah,
not financial advice, but you're also a technical analyst and a market analyst. So can you sort of leave us with some insights?
yeah. One second. Let me just start by saying that the crypto rally that we talked about uh, in the previous calls since Jan, some of it has played out, but it's very much still there. The rally that we anticipated in our analysis was a long-term rally that is spreading from Jan or this entire 2024 and 2025 years. So uh, people should maintain a constructive or a bullish view at least till October, November, December 2025. And so we are still in the progress of that move. And Bitcoin halving has happened. A lot of people on Twitter will see charts projecting various kinds of things. We won't know exactly how the path will be, but I'm reasonably confident in my analysis that there is a larger rally ahead in many cryptos between now and December 2025. And my top pick continues to be Dogecoin, and I often post on that regard on Twitter as well. That if there's only one crypto that you can hold as an investor, that should be Dogecoin, because I think that there is a very large up move pending there between now and December 2025.
Yeah, well, that sounds very promising, and that probably also means, because you're also, of course, a stock market analyst, that the stock market probably will also reach higher highs,
Um,
or
yes,
not. Yeah.
yes. In many cases, yes, uh, because you see, like the entire crypto industry, crypto market uh, is a risk-on market, as in when people want to take risk and they buy Nasdaq futures, Nasdaq ETFs, we have seen that there's a very strong correlation of crypto and Nasdaq. In a way, the investors behind both are, I think, very common, including people like myself who see both daily. So we have, so in that sense, yes, Nasdaq, which is technology focused stocks and index, crypto. So for crypto to have a bullish move, it would be a necessary event at the back that yes, the equity markets also will be moving bullish or positive in some way, or even if they are, let's say, consolidating, but safe to say that they are not crashing. I think because that will not coincide with the bullish view of the crypto. Because if equity market starts crashing, then crypto also cannot sustain as of now it on its own. But when equity markets are flat or consolidating or just moving up, that is very favorable for crypto. And Bitcoin now is holding at around 61K USDT, near the top end of its price, which is also favorable. And our target on Bitcoin is 125K USDT, which may come by next year. And but the bigger upside is in Dogecoin among the decentralized ones. And around the same time, SHIB, which is also our other favorite, would also not underperform Doge. I think they will perform in very similar ways. But what we have seen in our past study is that they have different timing of when they will rally. It's not always at the same time. So, and also there's a strong correlation between the rallies of SHIB and the rallies of Ethereum. And so
Yeah.
those two have to be seen as well. So overall, so you can say that we have Dogecoin linked with BTC rallies, SHIB linked with Ethereum rallies, and these two together are also linked in their rallies. So overall, we have a very good setup, and people who are looking to uh, be part of the crypto portfolios should regularly have some Dogecoin, maybe some SHIB if they're interested. A lot of exchanges give a notice that it is a very volatile, including Binance. When you go to buy
Oh, yeah.
SHIB, they say
Yeah.
that this is a very volatile crypto. Please do your research and all that. They say that. So I would say yes. If you want to hold, you can hold a smaller quantity, because you see, as a project, the SHIB project has a very large and different vision than every other project. So if you see the how bold their vision is on what they want to do, it was stated a bit, not stated fully, but I would say that if it takes off, it's very different. So we will see. But more reliable is to be Bitcoin in terms of the study, the data, and where it can go. And
And
I would say
then,
that. Yeah, Dogecoin, I would say minimum $1 target is there.
And with all these things, the longer your time horizon, the better, of course. And again, this is not investing advice. And if you want to know more, just follow also Shankar on Twitter or X.
Twitter, yes.
Shank
Twitter
X.
is where, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I post whatever I have, some charts once in a while. But for example, right now I see Dogi, it's been at around 12 cents for a long time now. 12. These are very good rates because I see it hitting $1. In fact, that's the that's the first upside target that we have. It can go much higher to maybe even $2 or $3, but that's separate. That depends on market conditions as well. But by
And
itself, yeah,
we will link, of course, the previous video that we did on those 10 projects. So maybe we should do one again in the near future.
yeah. It was 6 months ago exactly. It was in the
Yeah,
first week
yeah.
of Jan. It was on
Yeah,
6th Jan, I think. Yeah,
it was a fun show. So let's do that again. And of
yeah.
course, also in this about this is like you got a lot of talk about ETFs, an Ethereum ETF and a Solana ETFs. So when they arrive, nobody knows, of course, but they will probably be very positive for at least adoption, but probably also for price appreciation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Shankar, I want to thank you for being on the show. I love doing these updates. I wish you all the best.
Thank you
Keep
very
doing the
much,
good
Nick.
work.
Thank you very
And
much. And on behalf of all team members of Green Earth Blockchain, I thank you for having us on this show and the chance to share updates with you and through you to a much wider audience. So once again, thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you again after a few weeks. Bye.
take care.
Bye. Bye.